Hey everybody, it's Goblin and welcome back to another Premier Draft of Mars Machine. Without further ado, let's get into the Pack 1 Pick 1 here, where we've got some great options. I'm a really big fan of Halo Forager, but it is a multicolored card, so it's more restrictive. So I think I'll still just go for the Voldaren Thrill Seeker here. I think they're relatively equally powerful. The Thrill Seeker can turn two of your creatures into a removal spell, because you can play it, put 2+1/+1 counters on something else, and then have that creature sack itself to kill something, and you'll still have the Thrill Seeker left behind to do the same thing. Particularly if you have other ways to put counters on it or equipment or anything like that, that could be pretty nice. So Thrill Seeker's pretty cool. Halo Forager, consistently great in those blue-black control decks, though, which are some of the strongest decks in this format, where you just play a bunch of good 2-for-1 removal spells, and then the Forager comes in and recasts a 2-for-1 removal spell. You can get really far ahead with that card, so do really want to shout that out too, but we'll take the less restrictive card to start off anyway. Pick 2 is another very good pack. There's Norn's Inquisitor for a really good uncommon. This is 2 mana for a 1/1, and then another 2 mana for a 3/3, so you're getting 2 creatures off of the 1 card, which is always good. But there's also a pretty great rare here, Polukranos Reborn. It's very restrictive, triple green, so we'd want to be at minimum on like 10 forests. So it'd be on like 10 forests, 7 mountains if things continue how they are. But it's a really, really strong card. If you flip it, splitting into multiple creatures whenever it dies means that even if it dies, you're left with extra value. So I think Polukranos Reborn's really strong and worth that really restrictive mana cost to speculate on that over Norn's Inquisitor. But those cards are both great. Pick number 3. This is a little awkward for us, because after taking Polukranos Reborn, we would like to take majority green spells, and there's only 1 green card here, and it's not very good. Although, to be fair, I don't think anything in this pack looks very good. This looks like quite a bad pack in general. There are some fine role fillers, some fun build-arounds, like Tetsuko Umezawa. There's Invasion of Kaladesh, I guess. Now, this is a pretty empty pack all around. A bunch of filler stuff for this early in the draft. I guess I'll just take this Invasion. It seems like a reasonable rate. Get a 1/1 flyer. If you ever flip it, you get another vehicle out of it too. Pick number 4. This pack looks much better. Particularly the Volcanic Spite is something I'm quite interested in here. Now that we are 2 cards deep into red, this could be our 3rd. Very efficient little removal spell that also gives you some card selection. Don't mind it at all, but Blighted Burgeoning is quite good too. This is a very bomb-heavy set, lots of good rares. There's a bonus sheet with these legends in them, and there's the bonus sheet of the Aftermath cards. So being able to splash around and put any kind of crazy rares in your deck is great, which makes Blighted Burgeoning quite solid fixing, because it also comes with a creature attached. So Blighted Burgeoning is certainly up there on the pick order, but I'm going to go Volcanic Spite here. I might be off of the Polukranos plan. Pick number 5. Well, there's another Blighted Burgeoning, which could help us get to the Polukranos, and it's just a great green spell in general. This is a great pack again. There's the Burgeoning, there's a removal spell, Realmbreaker's Grasp. There's also this Rebuild the City rare, which is probably decent, but it's an Aftermath card, which means I haven't really played with it very much. 6 mana, choose a land, create 3 copies of it that are 3/3s also, with Vigilance and Menace. So 3 3/3s with Vigilance and Menace for 6, I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Kind of a restricted mana cost, but quite powerful. I think I'd rather just grab a Burgeoning. Okay, we'll just take every Blighted Burgeoning. That's a lie. We passed the first Blighted Burgeoning, but getting 2 in a row here is really, really helpful. Even if we end up just being a 2-color deck, the Burgeonings being able to give us an additional green helps Polukranos a lot. So I'm happy to take another Blighted Burgeoning out of this pack. Pick 7. Most of this pack is quite filler, particularly the green and the red cards just don't do all that much. Might still take a Blade Master here. But the best cards here are like Knight of the New Coalition and Halo Charge Scab, which are good in their respective strategies. This is good in blue-black control. This is good in Convoke Go Wide decks. I think I'll just take the Blade Master. I don't think either of those are good enough to be that concerned with pushing off color right now. Pick 8, we can take Hanger Scrounger. Also Protocol Knight was decent, particularly for like the blue-white Knights deck. Maybe that's where we're supposed to be in this pod. We take that Knight card last pack instead of the Blade Master, and then take the Protocol Knight here. But I don't hate where I'm at right now, and we can take a Hanger Scrounger for some card selection for what we're already doing. Rouse Reinforcements is really good with like Convoke cards and Sacrifice cards. Pretty good with Thrill Seeker. Take a Rouse Reinforcement, see if we get some good synergy to go with that. Not an exciting pack here. There's a fine Overrun style finisher with Storm the Seed Core. There's also the decent Wildwood Escort value play. I'll just take a Storm. Nothing here. I'll take a Depth Guard. If we have ways to put +1/+1 counters on this, that's how you get that attacking in and getting its damage in. Flywheel Racer for very filler mana fixing if we end up needing a bunch. Frontliner for another filler 2 mana 2/2, and we will see what we open up in pack number 2. All right, got a great green rare, and we can stick to what we're doing here, I guess. Glistening Dawn is going to give us 2 Incubator tokens with X power and toughness, where X is the number of lands that we control. So 4 mana for 2 2/2s, but we have to spend 2 mana to flip them later, so kind of ends up being 8 mana total, but you divide it whenever you need it, which makes it a lot easier to cast than like some kind of 8 mana rare. So Glistening Dawn is just very strong, and I'm happy to take it. Pack 2, pick 2. Obosh is a pretty fun one to try to build as your companion, but I think we're a little too late in the draft for that. I mean, if we wanted to companion this, we'd have to not play Glistening Dawn, so that's just not going to happen. You have to have all odd mana values. You can still play it in the main deck, and it's fine. By itself, it's like a 6/5 for 5. Does double up your other stuff. Maybe I just take the Obosh and just run it main deck. Big 5 mana beefy creature. There's some good blue spells here, though. Good value with Eyes of Gataxias, and Artistic Refusal's a really rude counter spell. Counter with a draw 2, discard 1 attached, and the Convoke makes it a lot more efficient than it looks. So that's interesting too, but I'm pretty happy with our just Gruul beatdown going on here. Get a second copy of Voldaren Thrillseeker. Okay. Sure. Simple but effective card. Come on in. So Rampaging Geoderm, if we're attacking any battles, this can get permanent +1/+1 counters on it. And it's whenever you attack, one of your attacking creatures gets the counters. We don't have any battles right now. I mean, if I don't splash Invasion of Kaladesh. But this is still like a 4 mana 4/4 trample haste by itself, because when it attacks, it can buff itself. Yeah, 4 mana 4/4 trample haste with a little bit of extra upside. I think Geoderm looks perfectly solid here. I think I'm really just looking for more removal right now. Maybe some 2 mana creatures. If we get any battles, that'll obviously be cool with the Geoderm, but I think that's not completely necessary. If we play a bunch of equipment, Balduck can do some stuff, but we only have 1 right now, and the equipment are super exciting. Baral and Kari Zev. You gotta cast a bunch of instants and sorceries with them, which I don't think we'll be playing a bunch of. Could splash an Invasion of Lorwyn off of our Blighted Burgeonings, and that gives us a battle for the Geoderm as well. This is a really good 2-for-1 if you do manage to flip it. We'll try it out. Here's a little bit of fixing towards it as well. Get a black-red dual land over no green or red spells. 8 mana is so much. And I think we just take the Convoke removal spell instead, but this wins the game. If you manage to make it to 8 mana, this does win the game. That hex proof, so they just can't stop it. I'm still taking Shadow the Source over it. That's just so much mana. Here's the fine value play, Wildwood Escort. Herd Beast or Historian. I might take Historian here just for the mana curve. We've got really low 2 mana spells still. Could take a second Invasion of Kaladesh and splash blue instead of black, just to throw more battles in here, but I only have the 1 card that really cares about it, so I don't think I need to go that deep. Frontliner. I guess the Frontliners also mildly care about it. They're just our filler 2 mana 2/2s no matter what, though. That's fine. Bunch of stuff we are not going to play until we see what we open up in pack number 3. We've kind of already got a deck. We're at 22 cards right now. We only need 23 non-lands, so we're at 21 out of 23 non-lands. Yeah, very solid little curve, very average looking deck here. Doesn't look bad at all. We are really relying on the Burgeonings to get the Polukranos down, so we need to treat that as a later game play. But still, solid looking deck here. Okay, pack 3, pick 1. Progenitor Exarch is absolutely strong enough to splash in a single white card. I think we'd rather splash that than Invasion of Lorwyn. When it enters, incubate 3x times. So for 5 mana, you get 2 3/3 incubators. For 7 mana, you get... What is that, 7 mana, right? Yeah, 7 mana, you get 3 3/3s. Then it can tap them all for... It can tap to transform them for free. So Exarch is super absurd. It is a lot of stats for whatever you're casting it for. Happy to take it here. Okay. Invasion of Muragonda is a pretty filler battle. We could also just take the big old trample hasting raptor. Smack down with that thing. Emoti's a fun splash, cascading. Flipping spells from the top and casting random stuff for free. I think I'll just grab the beef here, get this raptor in here. Take a green-red duel. Or second Invasion of Lorwyn. Splash 2 of those instead of 1 of this. That's actually kind of close. Might be better to splash 2 Invasion of Lorwyn over 1 Progenitor Exarch, but too bad. Progenitor Exarch is cooler. That's a pretty late Deeproot Wayfinder. This card's really solid. 2 mana, 2/3, already good. If it connects even one time, you're getting really good value. Deal combat damage to a player, surveil 1. And then if you manage to mill a land, you just put it straight on the battlefield. That is ridiculous. I don't think we have enough Blighted Burgeonings to play Omnath Locus of All. But Omnath Locus of All is very cool and very fun. I think here we just need another Volcanic Spite, sadly. Converter Beast is great. Good defensive play. Get a 0/1 and a 5/5 from your 1 card. There's a Windscarred Crag to help that white splash. Got enough removal now to drop to not take another Shattered the Source. Just take a Tangled Skyline here. There's another really defensive card. I think so. I'm going to take the really roadblocky defensive card there. Beatstick could also give us treasures for fixing, I suppose. Gives us another option for how we want to splash things in and fix our mana. I don't think I have enough room. Yeah, I don't think I have enough room for more 4 mana plays like Chomping Cobbles, so I'll take a Historian, but I also probably don't have room for that either. This is just not good, right? Yeah, it's just Pyroclasm, 2 damage to everything. Could play a War Historian, just to play more green cards, get the green count up for our triple green and double green spells. Wary Thespian as well, get that green count up, cut some of these red cards. Okay. Decent little Gruul deck here with a little Progenitor Exarch splash. Don't mind if I do. Looks relatively average overall for March the Machine. Didn't get anything super crazy, but it looks perfectly viable, perfectly consistent. So I do not mind this deck. We're at 21 creatures. Let's go ahead and cut like 6 of those. Go to like 15 or 16 creatures here. I think I'd rather cut double Historian because some of my bigger creatures already have haste, so Like tapping, giving other stuff haste is just not that relevant. We'll just keep some little 2/2s instead of 1/3s. Try to cut mostly red cards to get our green count higher for Polukranos as well as Glistening Dawn. Some cut like those. Wildwood Escorts are a bit slow and Charger's not great. I feel like these are the potential creature cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only want to cut like 6 of them. Let's just cut everything except one of the green creatures. Boom. And then 3 non-creature cuts. Equipment. Some of these are creatures as well. Tangled Skyline, Glistening Dawn, even the Burgeonings, the Rouse Reinforcements. I guess I could cut this Rouse Reinforcements then. Because then we have 15 creatures, a Glistening Dawn, and a Tangled Skyline. That's like plenty. Yeah, this looks fine to me. I like these as the cuts. Cool. Let's drop them. Call it a deck here. We do have to double check the mana base. We're on 13 green cards, 10 red, 1 white. We're on 8 green sources and 8 red sources right now, which I don't want to do. I have double burgeoning, so I don't really want to play too many white sources. Let's go 9/8 minimum. Go 9/8 here. I could even see 10/7 because of Polukranos. We only have 1 card that needs double red. Oh, that's not true. We have Obosh as well. So we have 2 cards that need double red. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't go too one-sided. Definitely getting a lot of value off the double burgeoning. Those are going to be super helpful here. I mean, I could see cutting the plains and going 10/8. And then just Crag double burgeoning for Exarch. 3 white sources in the whole deck. 4, I should probably have 4 for the splash. Yeah, I'll keep the plains in there. All right, well, we'll call it a deck like it is and just treat Polukranos as a big late game finisher. Don't expect to ever have triple green till super late, but that's fine. Really solid looking stuff. We'll call it a deck here, hop in the gameplay, and see how far this one can take us. Here we are on the draw for game 1. This is a solid opening hand. Oh my god, we have the triple green opener with Polukranos Reborn as the first draw of the game. That's some good stuff. I'm going to lead Wary Thespian here and just lead with something that I'm happy to trade off into their cards. Because we're on the defensive here with them on the play. Snap trade. Another Surveil finds Rampaging Raptor. I don't have double red for that. Is it wild to mill that? We play Polukranos next turn, then we go Frontliner plus Wayfinder. I think I'm going to mill that. Our 3-color deck. There's Elvish Vatkeeper. No! Insta Mountain. I don't really want to run out Polukranos Reborn until they play a removal spell, because I'd like to flip this like before they potentially have removal to kill it. I'm concerned if I just run out the 3-mana 4/5, they're just going to play a black removal spell that destroys target creature. Well, that played out really poorly for me. Doomscar Warrior is absurd. What a curve out from our opponent, by the way. This has been gnarly. Berserker into Blademaster into Vatkeeper into Doomscar Warrior. Okay, well. Oh my god, and they drew Glissa? Alright, we're dead. Glissa is a much stronger rare than Polukranos. Yikes. Yeah, you get 2 2/2s every single turn. Or you flip them all for free. Yeah, we're so dead here. Without a board wipe in the deck, we just can't beat a Glissa. Well, shoot. Worked out pretty poorly that we held on to Polukranos for a turn instead of just running it out. If we ran it out, we would have had the blocker to stop Doomscar from drawing the Glissa, but the Glissa was still in their top 4, whether or not they drew it immediately, and then we would have just lost the Glissa whenever they found her. I'm going to look at our deck list one more time, but genuinely I do not think that there's anything that can get us out of this. If we find our Storm the Seed Core and they play way too aggressive, maybe we get to sneak in a trample kill, but that's all we've got. Luckily, we should die pretty quickly, so we don't have to sit here too long banking on a very rare possibility. But it's certainly too late to like draw removal to kill the Glissa. She's already gotten them 5 2/2s. We've just drawn another land here, so Glissa's going to keep making more 2/2s. Oh, right. I didn't even remember that ability. Give all the Phyrexians first strike death touch, which basically means they're unkillable on blocks. You can block a first strike death toucher with 3 2/2s. It'll first strike one of your 2/2s, first strike another one, but then it doesn't have any more damage to, so your third 2/2 will kill it. But you have to lose 2 2/2s for like nothing. Let's see, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17. It is not lethal, so I will just take it because the blocks are horrible. Let's see if we can Storm the Seed Core. It's our 1 out now. That is not a Storm the Seed Core. You got us. 0-1 heading into game 2. Just showing off the extreme power of Glissa, Herald of Predation. Still a potentially winnable matchup. We are playing a couple removal spells that can kill that Glissa, or at least one of them. We're playing that 6 damage removal spell, but we just did not have it that game. All right, here we are on the play this time for game number 2, and we have the Shatter the Source if a Glissa appears. But we get to play a Deeproot Wayfinder turn 2 on the play, follow it up with a Volcanic Spite to try to clear out their blocker and see if we can't get that trigger early to get a free land onto the battlefield. That would be pretty sick. Leading with Forest in case we top deck Polukranos. We might just want to run it out. We do not top deck Polukranos. Let's get that red man up for Spite in case there's some weird flash creature that I don't remember. We did get a land. Good stuff, Wayfinder. Good stuff. We're just going to have a million mana next turn. Ramp from Wayfinder and Blighted Burgeoning. There's their own Blighted Burgeoning. There's an Obosh for us. Got the mana to run out Obosh, but not play anything else. That's fine. Thespian. I don't think I really want to draw that. Doomscar Warrior, no attacks this time. Draw Windscarred Crag. We can shatter the warrior and just bash in. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus Convoke tapping Frontliner. Or I don't play the Frontliner and I don't have to tap anybody. I think I'm just gonna no tap here. I was considering playing Frontliner and then tapping Frontliner and Wayfinder, but I like Wayfinder's Surveil triggers quite a bit. So choosing to Convoke with Wayfinder instead of attacking with it, I think, is a genuine downside here. And opponent's hand is not going to be able to stop the Obosh coming in, so that is 1-1 heading into game 3. Keep this. We need to draw lands badly. If we draw a forest, we are in a really good spot, but we do want to just draw multiple lands of any kind in a row. Fail our first coin flip, but find probably the best non-land we could have drawn. Deeproot Wayfinder to run out on turn 2. Unfortunately, we have missed on our first couple draws here. We've missed on our first 3 draws here. We're now officially at 50-50 every single time we look, and we were close to a 50-50 on those first 3 peaks, so pretty rough luck so far. But there we go. Not right on time, fashionably late, but still decent. They can crew the Flywheel Racer and trade it into Wayfinder, which I think I'm okay with. Get that thing off their board and don't worry about it later. And then just run out Polukranos Reborn. They are a 3-color deck here. Green, black, and red, so killing the mana-fixing card seems okay. But they do have a second one, the Kami of Whispered Hope 2. Gross. Invasion of Asgol forces us to sack a creature, so that just completely kills Polukranos and comes with something else later. It comes with another creature once they defeat the battle. And then the Invasion of Regatha to clear out the battle. Get the creature out of it. Very nice. Man. Alright, these draws have been pretty rough overall. We've hit 1 land out of our 5 looks. I believe it's been 4 draw steps and 1 surveil. And now they just hit us for 6 with the Reaper. And that'll do it. Sad draws that game, but that is magic for you. 1 and 2 heading into game number 4. This is a really nice opening hand for game number 4. We lead out with Wary Thespian and the Thrill Seeker into the Geoderm if we hit lands, and if we don't hit lands, we got plenty of cheap removal to be playing instead. I'm gonna mill this War Historian. Lands are much more important than more 3-mana creatures right now. Invasion of Ixalan. Pick a permanent from their top 5, put it into their hand, and if they ever flip this battle by hitting it for 4, they get a big old dinosaur. Okay, we are missing lands again, but this hand's got a lot more 2-mana plays. We'll run out the Deeproot Wayfinder. There we go. Land 3 a tiny bit late, but it has arrived. Kind of want to pre-combat Thrill Seeker for extra damage here. Just make a thick Thespian. We do hit a land off of Deeproot Wayfinder, good stuff. That already just completely makes up for the missed land. Now it's kind of like we played a land every turn. There's their own Wary Thespian. They're already down to 10 life. Spend 1 mana and have our Voldaren Thrillseeker kill their Thespian. They've got a 2/3 blocker as well. Kind of want to kill both of these. Let's go Volcanic Spite the 2/3. Ditch a frontliner. Drop a land and kill a Thespian to get the Wayfinder through 2. Hit for 7. I guess this is more about getting our Thespian through. They definitely would have blocked the 5/3 with the 3/1 instead of stopping Wayfinder's ability, but hey, Wayfinder's ability keeps popping off. Geoderm should kind of seal the deal here. Some extra hasty trample-y damage that they aren't expecting. Even if they deal with everything currently on our board, this just comes in, swings for that final few points of damage. Especially since we've ramped into enough mana to play it alongside a Volcanic Spite. Make sure its path is clear. Okay, that will do it. This is already lethal off of Geoderm. No need to even Volcanic Spite. It's just Exactsies. And that is 2-2. Now into the deciding game here, whether we will be at least a 50-50 record, or if this will be a poor run here, a bad run here at 2-3. We'll find out as we head into game number 5. Whew. Hands today are risks. This has 2 double red cards in it and a white card in it and only green. Like if I draw the forest, I can run out Polukranos Reborn, but like I'd have to draw the forest, run out Polukranos Reborn, and then hit double mountain and a plains. This seems really unlikely to pan out for us, even though it has a lot of power in it. I think I have to mulligan this one. Like our second loss mulligan, that hand was debatable as a mulligan. It's debatably keepable, but this one is just... I think we just have to. All right, double green source already for Polukranos Reborn. We ditched the 5 mana play. This is a perfectly solid hand. So far, so bad. No lands have been drawn yet. Hopefully they play any creatures so we can Volcanic Spite it to ditch a card and try to draw land. Unfortunately, they didn't. They played a really good battle instead. We'll discard the 5 mana play. Milled 2 of our lands too, which is rough. See what our draw is for the turn. Not mana. I mean, it's kind of mana, but we need 3 mana to play it. It's a Blighted Burgeoning. There we go. There's a creature we can Volcanic Spite. And we do draw the land here. And another one. Run out Burgeoning to get towards triple green on Polukranos. Think so. I guess it's a little weird on my mountain because then I'd have to tap all of these to play Polukranos, and I'd have 1 mana floating. But next turn I can just play a land, play Polukranos, and flip the thing. Render Inert to flip their battle. They get a 4/4 copy of the best creature in grave, which I think is Inga right now. Yep. They get a 4/4 Inga Rune Eyes. The Invasion of Amonkhet is like maybe the best battle in the set. The card is really, really good. Played a lot of it in the blue-black decks, which were my favorite deck in the set. Probably the strongest one. Here's our Polukranos and a 2/2. Get a big lifelink hit with the Consuming Aetherborn. Sure. And then a Captive Weird. Speaking of big lifelink hits, I really don't mind just flipping this thing. And racing. Oh, if they've got the blue bounce thing. God, that card is so good. Afara's Dispersal. Blue was gnarly in this format. I think that just costs us the game now. Man. So we have to... If we're winning this game, we have to play around that and just like flip Polukranos Pass, which still leaves us in a really awkward spot because some of the best black removal spells in the set are exile removal, like the 6-mana exile creature make an egg. So like if I just flip and pass and then they play that, like we're so dead. Man. Blue-black is nutty. Yeah, this is probably winnable, played perfectly, but did not play around that dispersal, and that thing is just going to close the door on us so fast. All right, you got it. Rough run. I thought this deck was actually quite reasonable. By March of the Machine standards, because March of the Machine is such a powerful set, it's pretty average, so I would expect an average run out of it. Certainly got the lower end of the spectrum here today. We got bombed out hard game one, and then game two, the only thing we really could have done is maybe mulligan decisions. So there was not a lot of agency in our first two losses. That final game, if I... like if March of the Machine were the newest set and we had been drafting it a bunch recently, I probably would have played that differently around that Afara's Dispersal. But obviously this is a set that I have not played much in a very long time, so I was not thinking about Afara's Dispersal. We just got completely shut down by that card. Blue just has some really ridiculously efficient interaction like that. That just got 9 of our mana hosed for 1 single blue. And they surveilled off of it too. So yeah. We got bombed out, we got mana screwed, and that was 2 of our 3 losses. That's where we had some really rough variance here, pulling this deck down from its average record of like 4-3 and down to 2-3. But our third loss for sure, I think, was changeable if we were more experienced in the format. Still really happy with how I drafted. I think this is a really, really solid deck. One of the better ones we could have ended up in out of this draft pod. It just didn't quite line up with our draws versus our opponents. With the matchups that we ended up getting, you know, playing against the best deck in the format, the blue-black stuff, and playing against a bomb as well. Glissa just hosing us, so sad record, but still a solid draft. I think this was a solid little deck here, even if it didn't get the record to show for it. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.